Since 1994, safe, fast and more, our reliable name, Mixcat.com.
Hey guys, Pete with Mixcat. Today I'm going to put together from scratch a solar panel. I have a piece of tempered glass here. You want to be very careful with tempered glass. I had an accident with one of these yesterday. Turned into popcorn on me, and that definitely turns into a big mess, so be careful. What I'm going to do with this is just going to make sure the inside where the actual cells are going to go into is very clean. I got a straight razor so I can go through and actually clean up the glass here. I'm going to spray it with some spray cleaner like a Windex. Just go over it real good. What I have is some of the solar cells that I tabbed over the past couple nights after work. This will be enough to make the whole cell here. And I'll show you how it kind of stacks. Also the tracking that I use on it, and just give you kind of the blow by blow. How to make sure it's clean, because once it's encapsulated, you're not going to be able to get to the sun. Every little bit of dirt could block sun, and we want to make sure it's nice and clear. This is a used piece of glass. I put an ad on Craigslist and had a nice couple get back with me that had a whole bunch of glass, and they were moving. And I got a lot of glass for not much money. Can't beat that. Definitely get to know your neighbors. Craigslist is a great way to do that. That way you don't end up paying retail when you don't have to. Everything's said and done. This solar panel, which will probably put out 60 watts, I'm thinking, is going to be under $100. And if you look on eBay, that's a really good deal. I think we look good here. All right, start laying out these cells. And I'm just going to kind of do these on the back side just to line up, make sure I kind of got these even. A perfectionist, but we want it to look halfway decent. Here we are. Leave a little bit of a gap for the C channel. Yeah, I think that looks good. And remember, the tabbing goes on the front side, back side, front side, back side. So basically you're hooking these guys up in series. That way you bump up the voltage, and you always want to have more voltage or higher voltage than your batteries. That way it charges them. So 12 volt battery, you're going to want to put anywhere from 16 to 20 volt into it. That way the voltage flows into the battery and charges them. Alright, I think that's probably good to start. My soldering iron is on this side. I guess you guys really can't see that too well, but alright. Clean the tip up. I got my flux over here. Just regular jar flux, like a plumber would use. I know not the best stuff in the world for this, but hey, it's what I got. Some solder, and you just touch it down to the white, little dot. That easy. Tapping wire, that'll work. There she is. And don't worry if it slides around at this point, because we didn't mount them down yet. Alright, right now we're just kind of making some pairs here. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can kind of see. See, we just kind of line this up, and we're holding it down with the tabbing wheel here. Just something, not too much weight, just enough to hold it down. And we pull across. Real simple. Remember, they're very brittle, so you don't want to put too much pressure on them. that's the process. We're just going to keep on tabbing all the way down. And you can see I did this in real time, and it's going to be a pretty quick thing. What took the time is actually tabbing them originally, so that's where your time's spent. But I will show that probably in another video. I made a couple improvements on how I was doing it last time. Instead of soldering the front of it, I dip the tabbing wire in flux. Just basically run it through the flux real quick and line it up on the tab, on the panel, heat it up, and it flows on there pretty good. When I touch it, I hit it with put a little dot of solder on the end of the soldering iron. That way it's nice and liquidy and pull across. There we are. All right, there's the first set. And we're a couple more here. All the way down. Again, hooking all these into series rather. All right. And if anyone needs any tips on getting some cheap cells, solar cells, I got a good source, very reasonable, and I've been picking up a lot because I'm actually going to use these panels abroad to do my well project. That way we can have water wells in other countries where there's a need for water. It'll power the well, and sending down a little brick size box where they can actually assemble it on site is definitely a nice cheap way to help people in need, or countries rather that's in need. And I think this will probably be our saving grace. And if it overlaps a little bit, really simple. Let's see, I don't have enough. Yeah, I'll use this. Just kind of bend it up, fold it back on itself. If you didn't cut it exactly to size, give it a little dot of solder and pull it on. And she won't go anywhere. There we go. That way you don't have to worry about shorts. Good. Just periodically make sure you clean your tip on the soldering iron. Makes life easy. And as you can see, I'm kind of leaving a little bit of a gap on each of these guys. Just that way I don't have to worry about any kind of shorts. I'm also going to do bus wire on that side real soon. I'll show you kind of how that hooks up. Yeah, if you got the time to do this, actually tab it yourself and solder it yourself. It does take some time, but man, you save some money, and definitely I enjoyed the experience. I've been soldering for quite some time, Solder pretty much every day at work. It's, as you can see, this is really not rocket science at all. It all solders pretty easily.
Since 1994, safe, fast and more. Our reliable name, Mixcat.com.